SCG. We've got the Swans kicking to the left, St Kilda to the right. Both sides going for their third successive win. Pekin got a touch, but that was all. So too did McAdam. Cracker picks it up, sends St Kilda down towards the half-forward line. Taken out of it was Morris. Henwood uses brute strength, almost held onto it a fraction too long, but there'll be a free kick to go the way of the Sydney Swans, and it will be taken by Henwood.
Tim Pekin has a job tagging Greg Williams.
Henwood's kick is long. Muller got up high and recovered well. The big man does well. Gets the hand pass away to Ralph Smith. Kicks up towards the half-forward line. A chance for Morris. He's been in very good form across half-forward for the Saints. Russell Morris, long up towards Lockett. Oh, there was plenty of pushing and shoving. Lockett's going to get the first free kick of the day for the Saints.
I wonder whether they can become a little bit Lockett conscious, Bernie.
Well, I'd be looking for him too, I think, playing in that St Kilda side, Robbo. I don't think you can look for him too much.
No, I mean the Swans defenders,
well,
in that situation
certainly.
there, obviously the interference came from, well, a player that was perhaps just a little overzealous with his attempts to negate the big champion full forward.
Well, there's no doubt they're going to be conscious of Tony Lockett, and Henwood with the big task, playing at full-back.
35 metres out. Slight angle. Lockett's first kick at goal for the day, and the goal umpire does not move. Goal number 553. And the Saints off to a good start.
Oh, what a player, Sandy. Tony Lockett, he's kicked 22 goals in the first 2 matches of the season. Ideal conditions here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and Tony Lockett in superb form at the moment. He will take a lot of stopping today.
Well, let's hope the umpires are not influenced too much by a lot of media over full forwards and whether they're protected. The ball in the centre, and a free kick has been picked out of it. It's going to St Kilda to be taken by Muller, and Ian Muller is a real credit to himself getting into this St Kilda side. There's a push in the back against Stuart Lowe, and a free kick will go to the Swans to be taken by Neil Cordy. I just wondered whether they had enough height in their defence, the Swans. They've got Cordy on Lowe, Henwood on Lockett, and at centre half back, Morris's opponent, haven't quite picked that up, might be Dennis Carroll actually. Here's Morris going for goal. Morris's kick, and it hits the behind post on the full, so a free kick will be taken in that back pocket by Henwood, and he looks pretty keen, Wayne Henwood, to do well in his big assignment this afternoon, minding Tony Lockett. The kick out towards half back. Attempted punch away by Ralph Smith. The ball goes to the wing, and the mark is taken there by McKenzie. McKenzie just behind the wing, kicks it towards half forward. Marking contest, punched away by Grant. Ball comes back towards centre half forward, trying to crash his way through was Vidovic. Here's an opportunity for Stevie Wright. He's usually creative with the football. A kick across his body, and chipping in to take a good mark in the back pocket for St Kilda is Nathan Burke. He kicks straight across the goal. This could come unstuck. A good gather here by Thripp. He's going to get caught. He gets the hand pass away. They're 2-on-1. Underneath it there was Doolan. Chipping in now is McAdam. McAdam shrugs the tackle and gets the kick away. It's a good one. Daniels, it's a little too high for him. Coming in is Lowe. He's well tackled. Taken off the football. Now Doolan. Handballs to a standing Paul Kelly. He in turn goes to Thripp. Here's an opportunity now. Bays, he'll get the distance and he'll get the accuracy. Well done.
Great play by Mitchell.
Yes, tremendous play by Sydney to retrieve the situation there, but St Kilda really messed that up. Nathan Burke kicking across goal from the defence, had 3 St Kilda players and missed a lot of them. And then McAdam, who was tidying up, also had a chance to spot a player, and he missed with the foot pass as well. And it's made St Kilda pay dearly for the mistakes.
Good opening to this game here at the SCG. 1 goal apiece. Williams tried to get it out of the centre, but it's taken by Morris. Hurriedly onto the boot. Down towards the right half-forward flank. Ian Roberts couldn't control it cleanly. Has plenty of support. It's Thripp from centre wing, sending Sydney inside 50 once again, but a good defensive mark taken by Grant. He's got Burke out wide. Finds that player. Well, he goes on with it straight away once again. Pekin is clean bowled. but he recovers to give it to his skipper, who floats it up over the centre, and the mark is taken by Leza Vidovic. Vidovic putting St Kilda now in towards half forward, low, with strength, leaning on the pack, and those telescopic arms go out.
I think that's the only problem for the Swans, the height that St Kilda have got on their forward line.
Well, he fancies himself from here. He's going to be kicking from just on 50, and he goes short. Dean Rice sneaking down into the pocket.
Oh, good thinking there by Big Stewie Lowe. He may have struggled to make the distance from about 50 metres. Dean Rice has been very busy over the last couple of weeks.
Kicking from 40 metres, 45-degree angle. This for the Saints' second. Slews off the side of the boot and is out of bounds on the full. So no addition to the score. Bernard Tui to bring it back into play. Goes to half-back. Winmar the fly, but he went too early. And in doing so, infringed. But what a fly.
So the kick to be taken back there by Doolan, and rugged, straight at the football type is Ben Doolan. The kick by Higgins up towards half forward, punched away by Grant. Bays, boundary line a little too close there. Mark Bays, who kicked a magnificent goal for the Swans, and their bench players, Lawson and Dale Lewis, 1 goal apiece. Halfway through, about a third of the way through, Williams handball attempted. That's his first real clean possession, and in the finish it was smothered. So Pekin so far doing pretty well. Concentration is going to be a big facet of his game, Tim Pekin, just to make sure he's running alongside Greg Williams all day. McKenzie up over the top, can't get the tap down. Frankie Coughlin, McAdam, Pekin. Gives the hand pass away to Coughlin. He's going to get run down, but he gets his kick away. Ball in towards the forward pocket area. Roberts. The tackler is Lockett. Roberts takes it over. Boundary throw in the right forward pocket now for St Kilda, about 40 metres around from their goal. And Kitchke on the bench there for St Kilda.
Here's the throw in, done by Lowe. Down to Cracker, across to McAdam. Pulls it round his body, floating it high. Lockett at the back. Suckers off the ground and puts through his second. Two goals to Tony Lockett, 2 goals to St Kilda, and they lead by 1 straight kick.
Yes, the player doing well at the moment, Sandy, is Tim Pekin, as Robbo mentioned. He's really kept Greg Williams out of the action at the moment, and also Greg Williams will have to be very aware of his defence, the defensive side of his game, because Tim Pekin will be able to cut them to pieces if he doesn't man him up carefully.
A goal the difference here at the SCG. Lockett has booted 2 for St Kilda. Mark Bays 1 for Sydney. No one able to get it out of the centre. Harvey picks it up. Eventually the kick does come out, and the mark is taken by McKenzie. Just forward of centre. Sending Sydney into attack. Kappa. Good spoil by Frawley, goes over the back. He may be content to rush it through. It hits the post. Trying frantically to sock it off the ground was Jason Love, but 1 behind, the first of the day.
There's Jason Love in the picture. He's been kicking some goals for the Swans over the last 2 or 3 weeks as well. The kick in by Frawley goes to half back on that outer side. Gathered nicely by Coughlin, and he gets past Higgins. The kick is a little ordinary though. Dennis Carroll taps it on. Opportunity now for the Swans. The kick by Williams up towards full forward. Good punch by Frawley. Back out towards half back. Harvey. Short kick. Nearly a mark there to Vidovic. Now Swans up towards centre half forward. Williams just scouting the back of the pack. Mitchell. Cummings, the St Kilda player. The handball goes back to Carroll. He kicks it nicely towards full forward, but look, 1 on 2. And the one for the Swans was too short, Jason Love. And the big strong arms of Danny Frawley marks the football right on the edge of the square.
A strong mark that, Robbo, because he was going back with the flight of the ball, backing back into the pack. Well done.
Kick comes out towards the half-back area. And his opponent, his immediate opponent, Warwick Kappa, takes the mark. Oh, what a good mark taken by Rice. Jumping a little early and hovering over Dennis Carroll. And Dean Rice puts St Kilda wide. Good pass. Ralph Smith unselfishly hand passes to Harvey. Harvey couldn't get run down. Bays was the chaser. The kick towards full forward. Punched away. The Swans now on the ground level. The pressure's right on. Here's a chance for Neil Cordy. Over 200 games of experience there. The kick at centre wing, Dennis Carroll. Hand pass wide. McKenzie, kick it quickly, he does. Just gets it away, but it's too short, and Burke takes the football. Winmar is brilliantly dispossessed by Murphy. What a player, David Murphy. The kick into the forward pocket, and it's a mark to love. A good one, running with the flight of the ball, eventually judging it nicely. And he's raked it in, only about 25 metres out, but a very, very difficult angle. He runs around, that man on the mark. He kicks and kicks nothing. Cummings marks on the goal line. It's a point, is it?
Yes.
Well, there you go. I was getting a bit excited there. Steve Cummings, well done. Just not quite there. Only centimetres in it.
And only 4 points in this game at the moment, as Grant takes the mark in the back pocket. Kicks up towards the wing, low the target at the back. Got a hand to it, but that was all. Does have plenty of support. Muller takes it, goes towards half forward, or Cracker's sandwich between three players. Fisted down, beautiful tackle on Thripp. And the umpire decides that he will have it. Darren Goldspink and Brian Sheehan, the men in charge of today's match. Just in St Kilda's attacking zone, down the throat of Carroll, who kicks it high, back towards the centre. McKenzie and Muller. Neither take it cleanly. Or Winmar threads his way delightfully through the pack. Gives it to Cracker, who puts it out in front of Lockett. Can he get there? Picks it up beautifully on the half volley. Gets the hand pass away to Daniels. His kick, however, is partly smothered. They're not out of it yet. Trying to get clear is Ben Doolan. And eventually they will get away as Carroll pumps it high up towards half forward. Love coming over the top. Couldn't take the ball cleanly. He's
play.
at the bottom. Gets a push in the back and will take a kick directly in front. 50 metres out.
It was top play, Robbo. He worked hard to get in position, put his body in front, and really deserved that free kick.
I thought dispossessing the taller player going for the mark was a good feature there too, Bernie, by Jason Love.
A goal here for Sydney to hit the front. The drop punt from 52 metres. Kappa up from the side with a mighty fly, and it's taken over for one behind. So Sydney are 1-3-9. St Kilda, 2 straight goals. 13.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
Danny Frawley, St Kilda fullback. Lovely long kick out to half back, punched away. And Barry Mitchell tries to tap it wide for Higgins. Higgins could have nearly given a free kick away there, but the umpire calls to the boundary umpire for a throw-in. Robert Harvey looking a little concerned. Leon Higgins jumping into his back, but play goes on. Here's Williams. Kick towards full forward. Look at this. It may even roll through. It's close. No, just misses to the right. Oh, geez, dangerous. Every time he gets near the football, you can't afford to let him get too many touches because he can get this Swans machine on a bit of a roll.
Back with the action again. McKenzie in front. Good mark. Low coming over the top, but he did it well. In towards Kappa country. This time he is outmarked by Muller. Goes wide to Burke in the back pocket. Nathan Burke towards McAdam. So a throw in. McKenzie looking for front spot once again, gets it. Carroll tries to go out the back door, but stolen by Harvey. Another player having a good year, but that kick is not a good one. Now taken by Tunbridge. Doolan onto Higgins. Higgins, a short little chip, finds Williams. Now what will he create here? 60 metres out. Kappa offers the lead. He elects to go short. Carroll. Not paid the mark. Harvey is going to get St Kilda out of trouble.
That was a bit rough.
Kicks wide towards the wing. Shepherding. And this time McAdam has lost it. Thripp to take it, and 50 metres going against Gilbert McAdam. This will bring Terry Thripp down to inside 50 metres.
What's the technicality there, Bernie?
Well, I think McAdam thought that obviously the free kick was a shepherding free kick. The umpire paid the right decision because the ball wasn't within 5 metres. But McAdam may have thought that the umpire was paying a push in the back and went on with play.
Thripp from 50. Good looking drop punt, just off to the left and one behind. So Sydney doing plenty of attacking, but not able to convert at this stage. They move to 1-5, trailing by a point.
1-5. You wonder whether the inaccuracies are going to cost them. St Kilda now up towards half forward. Ball bouncing awkwardly. Coming out was Roberts. Rice was pretty fierce in his desires. Tui. Now an opportunity for Higgins. The left foot kick goes close to the line and bounces just centimetres inside the playing field. So we'll have a boundary throw in. Mark Bays and Sean Ralph Smith. Ruck contest and comes down towards Jimmy Cracker. A good kick in the finish across his left shoulder, up towards half forward. McAdam under pressure and it's punched away by Terry Thripp. And I admire Terry Thripp's play in the defence for the Sydney Swans.
Very tough for those players at that end of the ground to mark above their heads because they're all looking into the sun. So Tony Lockett will have strife marking at that end also.
Neil Cordy, Robert Harvey, now Jimmy Cracker. Advantage is paid. Up towards the forward pocket. Punched away, comes back towards Lowe. Lowe's shot is reasonable, but look at this big man up here. A man mountain is Tony Lockett. And I'm sure he said some kind words, and I say that with tongue-in-cheek, to his opponent Wayne Hedwood.
Would I say this man would have some trouble looking into the sun and taking marks? Not a worry there to Tony Lockett. Positioned himself very well and, geez, put him on a bit of an angle here, hasn't he?
In front of goals, hasn't he?
Well, shouldn't be any problem anyway.
Yeah, I wonder sometimes, but Lockett going for his third, no mistake. St Kilda are 3 goals and Tony Lockett has kicked a lot.
Yeah, well, what a player. They really need to cut off the supply down to that end of the ground to stop Tony Lockett because I don't think there's a fullback in the competition who is capable of going with him. Big Stewie Lowe did well to pick that up, roving it off the pack, and an excellent long kick in the goal. Henwood gave him a bit of treatment there, but Lockett had the last laugh. Had a few words to say to Henwood as well.
St Kilda leads by 7 points. 3 straight goals to Tony Lockett, 1-5 to Sydney. Out of the middle, no one able to get clear. Carroll working hard for Sydney. Eventually picked up by Burke with a high kick up towards the half-forward line. Fisted away from Rice. A chance for Higgins if he can pick the ball up. Well, he can, but Winmar is very persistent. So too is Higgins. He's still going. Eventually gets it away to Barry Mitchell. Mitchell floats it up towards full forward. Kappa waits at the back. No mark taken. And it's Frawley who spins away, putting it out wide in front of McAdam. He may get there in time. He does, to keep it in play. And a little chip to Winmar on centre wing. Well, with Winmar firing, Lockett firing and Lowe firing, what a explosive forward line they can create.
I'm just going to say, when we were watching the reserves, the players fell for the trick of kicking it into the pockets, and I hope St Kilda don't fall for that. They must get it into that centre corridor.
Lowe gets it to Pekin. McAdam attempting to tap on. Loses it to Thripp. Murphy almost threw it away to Mitchell, who spins out of one tackle and gets it across to Leon Higgins. Higgins goes over the top. Now a chance for Paul Kelly. Deep in towards half forward he goes, and the one-hander not held and pushed over the line by Grant for another throw-in. Love asking the question. I was using one hand because the other one was being held to the umpire, but he's ignored.
So the accuracy of St Kilda, in particular Tony Lockett, 3 goals straight to 1-5. Ruck contest. Vidovic, now a chance for Harvey. Kicks it quickly. Very close to the line again, and it is over for a boundary throw-in.
Just wondering, Robbo, when Lockett was injured, no doubt the odds for him of kicking a ton would have drifted somewhat considerably. I wonder what they are now.
I would say that the bookmakers have run for cover, Sandy, because it's an ominous sign, isn't it? Here's David Murphy for the Swans, kicking it up towards full forward. Kappa flies too early. Frawley, he won't get knocked out of position. The ball at half forward. Kappa's a chance now. No, he's dispossessed. Still, it's in a winnable position. Now the Saints get clear, and on the end of a chain of hand passes, Coughlin goes to Harvey. Harvey now at centre half forward, kicks it to Lockett. And Lockett marks. There was a tangle up there between he and Russell Morris.
He wasn't. Morris a bit fortunate there because Tony Lockett coming out like a locomotive. He would have cleaned Russell Morris up. No worries about that. We've got the locomotive at full forward and the diesel in the centre. There's a few trains running around here today, Sandy.
Very good, Bernie. From about 20 metres out, Lockett's got a chance to kick his 4th goal. The supply we spoke about earlier, gee, it's going to come down a fair bit with players like Harvey and Winmar McAdam. The defence working pretty well so far. Here's Lockett. A lovely kick by Tony Lockett. 4 goals. And gee whiz, the signs are there. Saints 24, lead the Swans 11.
Let's hope no one goes off the rails, Bernie.
He was like a train off the rails there, Tony Lockett. If he had hit Russell Morris, he would have known about it. I don't think he would have had much more influence on the game, but nearly a tangle up. But a good mark, Tony Lockett on the lead. And Henwood really, he's probably the man for the job, but gee, it's a tough task.
Back in the centre, and if Lockett maintains this consistency, he'll finish the day with 16. Let's see what happens. Harvey got a touch, but that was all. Cracker does well, gives it away to Ralph Smith. The Saints go down towards half forward again through Frankie Coughlin. Morris, but coming over the top with an effective spoil was Roberts. Tried to get it back to him. Stolen by Harvey. Harvey heads towards Lockett and Henwood again. Lockett in front, recovers, spins round, snaps at goal and has kicked another one, I think. What a goal! And what an exhibition we're seeing here at the SCG.
Now, is he going to kick 16 or is he going to kick 20?
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? Tony Lockett, 5 goals straight. Molly Meldrum, the St Kilda supporter there, really appreciating Tony Lockett's work. And it's amazing, he's kicked 27 goals in 3 matches. Well, 2 matches so far, and only early in this first quarter. And he's an amazing player, Tony Lockett.
Well, another 6 minutes to go, Bernie. Could finish the quarter with 7 goals.
Quite easily.
So back in the centre, Vidovic, punched away by Thrip, gathered there by Burke for St Kilda, kicks it directly towards centre half forward. Too big, too strong, Stuart Lowe. Plays on quickly, player on his own at half forward was McAdam, good punch by Thrip. Out comes Henwood, his confidence must be at an all-time low. The kick back towards centre wing, gathered by Stevie Wright. Hand pass with the left hand was a little ordinary. Williams goes in over the top of Cummings, and the umpire will call for a bounce.
He held on to it too long, didn't he, Stevie Wright? The first option was the one to give it out to, and he didn't give it out and then tried when it was too late.
Boundary throw in between wing and centre half forward, favouring the Saints. Chance there for Cracker. He couldn't quite gather the awkward ball, and the umpire will call for another bounce.
And Robbo, for those people in Melbourne wondering about the reserves, Sydney 15-13 were beaten by St Kilda 21-21.
Up over the top, Tunbridge, but standing his ground was Low. Ball comes to Kelly. Kelly's kick gathers about 35 metres up towards the Swans' goal. Right under pressure, gets his kick away. Williams, brilliant. Doolan, long kick by Doolan is a little awkward one, but getting back there to take a good mark is Vidovic. And he's doing pretty well, Lazar Vidovic for St Kilda. The pass into the back pocket finds Winmar. Winmar's kick is all right, and a good mark taken by Grant, who I consider to be a very, very good defender.
Oh, what's he taking him back there for? I can't work that out, Robbo.
Little technical?
Oh, too technical.
Danny Frawley has run a long way down from full back, kicks it in towards centre half forward. No mark to McAdam, ball at the back. Kelly hand pass over the top, Thrip. Thrip, casual as you like, through the centre. A poor kick in the finish. Mitchell's under pressure, still under pressure, worried out of it by Daniels. In goes Stevie Wright. Daniels is still there. He can't feed it out efficiently enough. McKenzie goes to Kappa. Kappa to Dennis Carroll. This man will do something with the football, and he'll shove it straight down that guy's throat. No, he dropped it. Williams wouldn't believe it. The ball handling specialist. He goes after it again. can't quite make up for it now, and eventually he's going to get a free kick.
Stevie Wright to take the free
Stevie
kick.
Wright, is it?
But Greg Williams, gee, that was, well, he probably had it spent before he received it. There, it was probably too easy, something you would never drop. 100 more times if he went for that, he wouldn't drop it.
Well, I was surprised when I saw the man who you have a second look and check to see if it is him. But, well, there you go. I suppose you can make a mistake. Stevie Wright's kick from 45 metres right up to the goal line. So Swans mark. No, it's not. Umpire's calling play on. Swans supporters will scream here. Kappa had the football. Umpire Brian Sheehan. Sorry, Warwick, I'm going to ball it up.
Yeah, the umpire saying it was touched first. Let's have a look at it again. Maybe his teammate Mark Bayes had first grab at that one.
Right in the square. An attempted soccer off the ground is not effective. And that's one way, I suppose, he's clearing it out.
Oh, Sandy, how can you give a free kick there? He's doing all the hard work there, Mitchell, and
lost it.
No chance whatsoever.
Winmar. Oh, a little too quick for Muller. Murphy gets it away. Williams, a penetrating hand pass down towards the 50-metre line, and Carroll. He's got to give a little ground. Back to Williams again. They're finding it tough. Love, another one. Back to Love from Mitchell. He might get there eventually. Now he gives it back to Carroll. A left foot kick by Carroll goes right across the face of goal and is out of bounds on the full after hitting the behind post. So Sydney are 1-5. St Kilda are 5 straight. And if you've just joined us, those 5 goals have all been kicked by Tony Lockett. Ian Muller on the outer side of the ground. Crowd building up here at the SCG. Towards centre wing, Tui. Couldn't take it cleanly. Higgins in there. Tui was held.
Yeah, it was against Russell Morris. Bernard Tui picking up Russell Morris, and Morris had Tui by the arm.
So Tui's kick up towards the half-forward flank and hammered over the line. Mark Bayes was his target. Just on 2 minutes remaining. As I said, this crowd building up. And who knows, they could see the record books rewritten here this afternoon. Time will tell. Williams, the master once again. The long kick. It's a pretty good looking kick up towards full forward by Paul Kelly, and he's put through a much needed goal.
Well, Sydney, they badly needed that one too, Sandy, because they're just falling behind. Had a couple of chances early. They've kicked 2-5 there, and inaccuracy has been costly. As we watch this in replay, Tony Lockett has kicked 5 goals straight up the other end of the ground. Fed out to Kelly, a good hand pass by Greg Williams, and Kelly an excellent shot for goal.
Well, they've had a fair use of the football, the Swans, just a little inaccurate, but down the other end, the man that they've got to stop is Tony Lockett, as Pekin kicks them back towards half forward. Here's McAdam into an open goal from 30 metres out, no pressure, he makes no mistake, a goal to St Kilda. Gilbert McAdam gets his first, and the Saints get their 6th. They lead by 19 points.
Well, he's the first player other than Tony Lockett, first St Kilda player to put a score on the board. So Tony Lockett almost kicking the entire first quarter score for St Kilda, but brilliant roving there by McAdam, a very exciting player.
But back in the centre, Bernie, isn't it so critical that you either have to negate or get it out of the centre yourself? I mean, if the opposition get it out, you're just about history. Vidovic tries to tap it down towards Cracker. Opportunity for Williams. He goes back towards Tui. Tui's kick wide to the wing, a little too high there for Bayes, but Bayes goes after it. Ralph Smith is his opponent, and he shrugs 2 tackles, or runs around his opponents, is a better way of putting that. Kick towards full forward, punched away by Frawley again. Swans little fellas have got to get there because the ball's going to come to the ground a fair bit. A kick out wide. Winmar tries to tap it over the top. Williams gives it to Pekin, his opponent. He in turn goes to Coughlin. Coughlin within 1 kick will be within scoring distance. Look at this. Lockett's got it again. Well, you're going to hear a bit of that, I think, for the rest of the day, aren't we?
Yeah, there's no doubt St Kilda will be looking for Tony Lockett, and why wouldn't you when the player's in such form as Tony Lockett? A man Mountain playing at full forward. Good use of the ball by Tim Pekin. And he is also a very good exponent of the handball, as is his opponent, Greg Williams.
What are 4 6s?
24.
So we say now he's going to kick 24 goals for the game.
Well, this will be the last kick of the quarter. So let's see what he can do. This for number 6 for the quarter. And he's missed. 5-1 for Tony Lockett, and he's disappointed. Quarter time, and St Kilda in a strong position. 6-1, 37, 20-point leaders over Sydney, 2-5-17. Then in the second quarter here at the SCG, umpire Brian Sheehan to get the ball in motion. St Kilda with a 20-point lead. Tunbridge wins it, and the whistle has sounded very quickly. It's going to be a free kick to the Sydney big man. Up to half forward. They want the first couple. Love can't take it. It's socket off the ground. Dennis Carroll controls it well, then goes with a sweeping hand pass up towards Love again. He's under pressure. McKenzie throws it out the back door. Here's a chance for Bayes. With him is Winmar. Mark Bayes soccering towards the boundary line. Winmar overtakes him, but Bayes finishes up with the football. Centre and kick. A high kick. Kappa in front. Couldn't take the mark. Love pulls one round his body and kicks a beauty. Well, that's the start they wanted. 3-5 plays 6-1.
Tremendous goal there by Jason Love. A player with heaps of ability, there's no doubt about that. And kicked 5 goals last week in the Swans' victory over Fitzroy, and very clever around goals. Swung that back across his body, roved off the pack. Kappa not able to take the mark there, and threw his arms up expecting a free kick.
Well, that's where they've got to be, down in front of those packs, because they're going to be punching the ball away. Muller, kick towards full forward, awkward bounce, still very awkward, goes close to the St Kilda goal line. Tui gets in there, and he's pretty strong, tough, but he can't do much with the hand pass because the tackle was effective in the finish there by Stuart Lowe, and the ball goes over for a boundary throw-in. They're about 40 metres, 35 metres around from the St Kilda goal. So well within scoring distance. The Saints 6-1, Swans are 3-5. Kick goes back towards half-back, nearly collected by Williams. It's close to the boundary line, now it's gone over. And Greg Williams probably wouldn't be really satisfied with his first quarter. Tim Pekin running very, very closely with him at the moment. Low, Tunbridge, and no one can do much with that football. So we'll have another bounce. It's about 60 metres out now from the St Kilda goal. Tunbridge, who did an excellent job, I thought, against Damien Burke a couple of weeks ago here, and was one of the reasons why the Swans played so well that day. Here's Jimmy Cracker trying to get the hand pass to McAdam, but it's forced over for a boundary throw-in again.
And Kappa being taken from the ground. Well, that's interesting. He's played behind Danny Frawley all day, which is not the go. He's waiting to take the big mark without leading to get away from Danny Frawley. And Cole Kadir obviously not very happy with Kappa's performance up to date.
Henwood in front of Lockett. Attempted kick there by Jimmy Cracker, smothered off the boot. So we'll have the 4th boundary throw in within about 35 metres in the last 2 or 3 minutes. There's Kappa and Stevie Wright. Plenty of experience there on the Swans bench.
Dale Lewis has gone down to full forward with Danny Frawley. Tui asked the question, and the umpire answers in the affirmative. So he'll clear from the back pocket. Reminder, of course, following this game across to Subiaco, the clash between the Eagles looking to maintain their unbeaten run, and Fitzroy hoping to open their account for the season. Cordy from halfback swings it over the centre. No one able to take it. That sun could be a problem. Hurried kick by Muller goes towards Rice. He wants someone going past fast. Doolan shrugs a couple of tackles, gets it across to Kelly. And now here's a chance for Sydney. Down in front of Williams it goes. He loses it, however. Pushed wide to Jason Love. Oh, look at this football.
Brilliant.
Love has kicked his second, and Sydney fight back 4-5 to 6-1.
I think, Sandy, when you talk about goal sense, well, we really saw it then from Jason Love. You see the kick into the forward line. Timmy Pekin doing a good job on Greg Williams, going everywhere with him. He just gets his boot to that ball, but only as far as Jason Love. You could see the way he kicked that ball. He went for the banana kick off the outside of the boot and put it right through the middle.
So 2 quick goals to Jason Love, and all of a sudden there's only 8 points in it. And Tunbridge in the ruck, trying to get that ball out for the Swans, but Coghlan does it for St Kilda. Wide to Winmar. Winmar running, kicks it directly towards goal. And coming out strongly is Henwood. Handballs it further afield. Morris has nearly got hold of it. Lawson there. Batui. The bounce is a little awkward. Lawson, one of the smallest fellas in league football, gives it to captain Dennis Carroll. Up towards the centre wing position. Ralph Smith, dispossessed by Bays. Here's a chance for the Swans now. Mitchell, he's going to get run down. Now he gets his left foot to the ball. Goes to centre half forward where Kelly collects it. Kicks it wide. No one home here. Pekin gets back pretty quickly. He's well tackled in the finish by Ben Doolan, and the ball is forced over. Getting back to Capper, I think, Bernie, you having played a hell of a lot of games up at full forward, surely the efforts of the players up the field have to be rewarded, and when it keeps getting pumped back, you have to do something about it, don't you?
Yeah, well, that's right, Robbo, and he's always got the tendency to want to take the big grab from behind, and you could see that today, and the ball wasn't coming down quickly enough to enable him to get back and have that big fly, but Danny Frawley, not an easy player to play on, one of the toughest fullbacks playing the game.
The Saints by 8 points at the moment. Vidovic tries to pluck it out of there in opposition to Mackenzie. Coghlan can't get a clean hand pass away. Doolan at the bottom of the pack. Comes wide to Kelly. Paul Kelly. No messenger required there as he kicks it up in towards the pocket. Muller gets a hand to it and it goes over the line.
Paul Kelly and the Messengers.
Correct.
That's not bad for me. I don't think he's my vintage, but...
There's the throw in. Vidovic from behind. Rice waiting down in front for the ball to come to him, but it didn't. Mackenzie gets it away. The hurried high kick is by Jamie Lawson, the youngster, but he's off target and one behind.
So all the scoring being done by Sydney in this quarter. St Kilda yet to register a score for the quarter.
Frawley straight down the middle. Lovely kick. Bit of pushing was there. The umpire said no. Lowe takes it. Gives it across to Rice from a standing start. He pumps it up towards Tui and Morris. And it has gone against Russell Morris. Bernard Tui to take it at half back. Short into the centre. Tunbridge takes them.
He's a hard nut, that Bernard Tui, isn't he? Like in every contest he makes it very, very difficult. That hand pass was a little, well, what would you call it?
Ambitious.
Yes, a good word. Frawley breaks it down at half back for St Kilda and kicks it back in towards the centre. Neil Court is in great position. Should have taken that. Gets the hand pass away. Chance now for Dennis Carroll. A lovely long kick by that player towards half forward. Nearly the mark to Bays. He gathers it. Shrugs the tackle. Left foot kick. What bounce will this do? Over the top. Love, can he get back there? He can. He holds it in play. Kicks it over his shoulder. And what's he done? Kicked it behind.
Vidovic appears to be in serious trouble behind play.
Well, he had a knee reconstruction, but I don't think it's a knee this time. Looks like it's a ribs or somewhere around that area. Yeah, checking the ribs out.
St Kilda will get clear now. Daniels leaves it for Pekin. Kick towards the half-forward area. Tui, one-on-one. He falls over, but he's going to get a free kick. And Russell, I'm a little bit with you. I think that was a little ticky touchwood free kick, but still Bernard Tui has it at half-back. There's Lazar Vidovic.
We didn't even know he had a free kick there, Tui. He thought it had gone out of bounds. They were going to throw it in.
Well, there justice prevails because the kick falls into the arms of Jason Daniels. Daniels runs and then kicks towards half-forward. A poor kick in the finish. Roberts marks for the Swans. He should transfer play to this centre wing area. Tunbridge is in good position. Punched away there by Ralph Smith. Doolan, good hand pass. Williams, look what this will do. Mackenzie, handball over the top. Bays, he's got to get onto the left foot. The hand pass a little smothered. Mitchell into an open goal. Won't miss this. Barry Mitchell. He ran all the way and eventually got his first goal and scores a level at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Well, it's all one-way traffic at the moment. They're doing it easy at the moment, Sydney in this third term. The running players getting on top. Excellent handball there from Greg Williams, who sets up so many attacking moves for the Sydney Swans. Mitchell gets the ball and runs about 15 metres before he kicked the goal, but Sydney doing everything right.
The Sydney chant has gone up here at the SCG. Scores level and a very good fight back by the home side. Can they win it out of the centre this time? Williams, as usual, at the bottom. And he's the one who gets it out. Oh, Kelly copped a couple high, but he goes on with it. Back to Williams again. Centering hand pass. Take your pick. Carroll or Kelly. Carroll takes it, and he misses. Well, he's set a great start to this game. 12 possessions to Carroll.
Playing on Harvey too. Harvey was named in the centre, but playing as a ruck rover on Dennis Carroll.
So Sydney hit the front. Cordy over the top, straight down the throat of Williams. Oh, the combination again. What will he do this time? Long kick by Carroll. No mistaking this time. The skipper kicks his first, and Sydney kick clear. Those trains you were talking of St Kilda, Bertie, have stopped.
Yes, they're off the rails at the moment, Sandy, aren't they? Well, the ball's not getting down to Tony Lockett. And Dennis Carroll, 13 possessions so far. Doing nicely on the ball. And Greg Williams coming into the play with a couple of excellent hand passes. Tony Lockett just about cold down at the other end of the ground at the moment.
They must get the ball out of the centre, St Kilda, and this is where they're failing. Tunbridge doing a reasonable job in the ruck contests. And of course, Greg Williams starting to get his hands on the football. Swans getting it into their forward line very, very quickly. Now a chance for Kitchke. He gets the hand pass to Pekin. Pekin's kick towards half forward. No mark taken. All Craven. Roberts was fierce at the football. Taps behind. Brilliant. Carroll. Oh, this is magical stuff by the Swans. Higgins, left foot kick to half forward. Mark taken by Williams. What can he do with this? The short pass is not bad. Oh,
Bush,
Mitchell
free kick.
Interfered with by Cummings. And Mitchell will take the free kick for the Swans. Well, it's amazing. When the ball starts to roll for you, so does everything, including the umpiring decisions. And they've had a couple. Mitchell can give it in short. Oh, he hesitated. Now he's gone in long. But no, it drops short. And Frawley in front where the good defender should be, marks and gives the hand pass to Winmar. Winmar's kick. McAdam's got an acre. One bounce. Two bounces. The chaser. Three bounces. He's backed himself. Now he goes for the short kick. And fortuitously, it lands with Dean Rice about 45 metres from goal. Don't ask me to spell it. I only know what it means. Dean Rice, 45 metres from goal.
Well, Mitchell really messed it up at the other end of the ground. He had the chance to pass to Bernard Toohey, held onto it too long, and then went for the pass which Stanley Frawley marked. And here's Dean Rice now with a shot at goal.
Halfway through the second term, this could make the difference. Just 1 point. It's not a bad kick by Dean Rice. It's a goal. So Dean Rice gets his first goal. Of course, Lockett has kicked 5 of those 7 for St Kilda.
And, well, St Kilda have to start making things happen out of the middle if they're going to get win this match, because Greg Williams, Mitchell, the running players of St Kilda, Dennis Carroll playing very well as a ruck rover. And if he can get the ball cleanly and onto the boot, he usually doesn't waste it.
A point the difference, favouring Sydney, and it'll be the home side through Higgins, who storms out of the middle, getting it clear of the centre, down towards Love. Not paid. Mitchell has been busy. Long kick, shepherded through. All clear. Dale Lewis doing the shepherding in the square, and Sydney answer the challenge, 7-8 to 7-1.
Well, they're a very busy side. They've got good running players, the Sydney Swans. Jason Love, who's slotted very well into the Sydney side, doing well in the forward pocket. And Mitchell also an excellent job playing as a forward pocket rover, resting on the forward pocket at the moment, kicking his second goal.
Centre bounce once again, 50 plays 43, and infringement out of the square. Going the way of Sydney, the ball rolling their way at the moment. Tunbridge, floating punt kick to half forward. Mitchell in front, couldn't take the mark. Kitchke under pressure, gets it away to Muller. Another one to Winmar at half back. Nicky Winmar now threads his way clear and then kicks long, up towards half forward. The big fist of Bernard Toohey hammers it clear. Cracker goes through, but there's going to be a free kick going back, and it will be taken by Doolan. Goes wide towards the wing. No mark to Frawley from the back, but he's first to recover. Craven looks for the free kick and gets it.
Well, I'd reckon it probably could be his first possession, Danny Craven. He's been very, very quiet. The kick goes to Daniels.
We did start on the bench, Robbo, so he's
Right.
only been on for a short time. But
Well,
Vidovic also off the ground with that rib injury. He's been replaced by Kitschke, who's now doing the ruck work for St Kilda.
Stuart Lowe has the free kick. Maybe a little too far out for him to score. He's going to kick it long. He hooks the kick, and it didn't scrape in. It looked as though it may have been through for a behind from here, but the goal umpire, of course, in total control, and the free kick goes back there to Wayne Henwood, affectionately known here in Sydney as Moose. Nearly a good mark to Doolan. Probably had done something with it before he was really awarded it. Dennis Carroll now gets the Swans out of trouble. Desperate stuff by Burke. They need players to lift the Saints. Winmar combining with McAdam. Bad selection there because there were two Swans players. Oh, he's going to get run down, David Murphy. He's been fairly quiet too. Now the ball finishes with McKenzie. He kicks it quickly up to full foot. Oh, up over the top was Jason Love, was it? And eventually the umpire awards a free kick against that player. Much too early and interfering with David Grant. Grant plays on, goes to that far side half-back flank position. Marcus taken by Burke. He goes inward to Winmar. He really stands still and then kicks it in towards the centre. Big punch by Thrip. Doolan's underneath it, but the bounce is very, very fickle. Daniels is caught with the football, could nearly be penalised. No, they get clear. Harvey goes to McAdam. The awkward bounce. McAdam tries to get through. He's caught. Back to Harvey, and Harvey's in all sorts of trouble. St Kilda a little flustered. Swans will get it now. Williams standing still, but he gets the hand pass away to Neil Cordy, who's going to get caught. Back it goes in towards that slippery, muddy centre. Muller's going to get caught. Craven off the ground. Higgins desperate. And eventually his desperation was a little too keen. Free kick to Craven goes to Daniels,
who kicks up towards Lowe on the 50-metre line. Lockett in the square. But he's electing to go short because Dean Rice drifted into the pocket and he'll have a shot. Rice has kicked one goal. It was earlier in this quarter.
I think what you were saying earlier, Robbo, about the Sydney defenders being too much aware of Tony Lockett showed out there, because
Rice on his own.
That's right, they tried to plug the gaps and left Dean Rice by himself.
So he'll be shooting from 45 metres, drop punt. Well, it's not a good one. Off the side to the right and one bar.
He really could have come a little closer to the man on the mark there, Dean Rice, and in the finish, his kick had no penetration whatsoever.
Tui to bring it back into play. Tunbridge's target, couldn't take the mark, and it's still inside the 50 for St Kilda, where a bounce will take place. But a good fight back by Sydney in this quarter. They've booted 5 goals, 3, and restricted the Saints to 1-1. But it's not over yet. Coghlan through, still going. Now Rice will have another snap. Straight over the top of Tony Lockett for his second goal. (8-2) 50, and Sydney are 7-8 50.
And Dean Rice has kicked the entire St Kilda score in this second term. 2 goals, 1 to Dean Rice for the term. A very busy player. Played last season on the back line, but since he's been moved to the forward line, he's been very productive, very dangerous around goal, can take a good mark and reads the ball well off the pack.
Lovely bounce back in the centre. McKenzie gets the tap. Finishes now with Williams. Hand passes a little too severe there for Bays, but he ran onto it. Can he get past? Yes, look at that. Clever stuff, Mark Bays. And he kicks a goal for the Sydney Swans. Bays gets his second goal. And the Swans, who I would consider to have been the underdog today, are really taking it right up to the favourites. St Kilda, they lead by 6 points.
Yeah, there's no doubt they were the underdogs, but they can produce excellent football at times. Muller there just too aware of Bays coming through, just didn't worry about the ball as much as he did the player. He could have cut that off. Not a great handball from Greg Williams. Missed the target.
And this is where it all happens in the centre. It can come out very, very quickly. Mackenzie dives on the football, tries to tap it out, goes back to Neil Cordy. His kick is a little awkward, wide to the wing. Lawson, great play. He knew Williams was there. Williams short kick. Looks for Mitchell. Kick is a little too far. Muller too strong and too big for Mitchell. Falls over. Now Pekin gives it to Frawley. Craven's caught by Williams. Play goes on. Lawson, what can he do? The little short kick, too high. Comes out the back. St Kilda have got 4 players back there, and eventually Burke, combining with Kitchie, goes to Grant, and Grant will clear for the Saints. Wide to the wing. McAdam can't mark, or can he? Yes, he can. Very, very skillful stuff by Gilbert McAdam, and with just great footwork, he gets past Thrip and kicks it in towards half forward. It's too short. Oh, what a good mark from behind by Lowe. The hands, big, strong, over the top there of Tunbridge. He kicks it in towards full forward. Looking there for Lockett. He's bumped off the football. Coming through now is Craven. Can he get past? Right foot snap. And it just misses. Goes through for a behind to St Kilda. So Danny Craven's first score is that behind. And Sydney lead by 5 points. It's a beautiful day here in Sydney. And the people over on the far side there out in the sunshine, well, it might be difficult to see, but gee, it's wonderful conditions to watch footy.
Thrip towards Higgins on centre wing. Higgins' kick is too wide for Bays, so a throw in on that outer side. This was almost like a summer's day here this morning, sitting out watching the reserves. High scoring game that was won by St Kilda, but they're having their problems here at the moment. Cummings gets it away towards Grant. He's under pressure. Dale Lewis flicking it out of the air. Williams looking for the free kick. All storming his way through was Lawson. Gives it away. Now here's an opportunity as Bays set sail for goal once again. He's kicked another beauty.
So 3 goals to Mark Bays. Good play here by the little bloke, getting the hand pass out. That came from Lawson, and Mark Bays 2 goals in this term, 3 for the match. Sydney doing it well because they're winning the ball out of the middle, and they've also managed to take Danny Frawley away from full back.
A busy little beaver is Jamie Lawson. Saints now up towards full forward. Lockett marks, runs into an open goal after recovering, and I think he's kicked a goal. Certainly has. Tony Lockett now has 6. We won't worry about the average because he's not keeping up that 5 goals a quarter, but 6 goals before half time is a good effort from the full forward.
Yes, 22 minutes into the second quarter. Tony Lockett hit the ground, got up very quickly for a big man. He is very explosive for the first few metres, actually, Tony Lockett. As we saw last week, that goal he kicked against Brisbane Bears when he charged out and kicked that goal on the turn. A good mover for a big man.
Well, that really was Bernie, wasn't it? I mean, yeah, the fellow, he must be about 17 stone. 6'4"?
So, yeah, about just a bit under 6'4".
In the old language.
A bit under 6'4".
9-8 to 9-3. Getting the knockout, Kitchke. Taking it away was Mitchell. Up towards half forward. Attempted punch behind was from Bays. Now Cummings. Short kick. A little too high there for Harvey. Williams goes to Mitchell. Unselfishly shares it with Kelly. Kelly goes for goal. Close. Just over the top there of Jason Love and David Grant, and through for a behind to the Swans.
What's happened, Robbo, since Warwick Kappa went off the ground? They've brought Lewis on, and he's moving around more across the half-forward line, which has taken Danny Frawley away from the goal front. So that's not a bad move by Cole Kinnear, because they've got Jason Love playing at full forward.
No one on the mark for Murphy, so he set sail for home with a high, long kick. Grant and Love both go to ground. Grant is the first to recover. He'll have to go back and take that kick over the mark. Sydney fans weren't happy with the result. Low can't complete the mark. Murphy's there at the bottom, so too is Burke. It's the latter who takes it. Round his body he goes towards McAdam. Winmar. The runners now. Harvey can't get completely clear. Coghlan gets a shocking bounce. In fact, they all do. Rice almost throws it out. He does, said the umpire.
They've been consistent with that today, Sandy.
Yep.
A couple of times when the ball's gone in the air, they've indicated that it is a throw.
Williams and Carroll, the old firm, back in business. Down towards the 50-metre line. Muller can't quite take it on the half volley. Rides a couple of bumps, then flicks it wide to accommodate Danny Craven. Craven has a bounce across centre wing. Then he runs his full distance before taking his kick, which is not a good one. It drops short, and the Sydney defence tightening up a little. Carroll in towards Kelly. Mitchell stops to a walk, then has a look up forward. Oh, and a fine diving mark taken by Grant.
Tremendous player for St Kilda in defence is David Grant. Very strong overhead. A fearless competitor when the ball's in the air.
He's got Burke out wide. Nathan Burke runs through half back, goes over the centre. Target being low. He only needs the one hand on this occasion.
Yeah, that's a tremendous mark. Took the most marks in the competition last season. Hasn't started off the same this season, but still tremendous overhead.
Now, where's Lockett? Got a fist to it, but that was all. Williams at the bottom of the pack will clear for Sydney. Goes towards the centre. St Kilda have the numbers. Ralph Smith. Handball across the top to Craven. A hurried tumble punt in towards half forward. Jimmy Cracker a touch, but that was all. Kelly applying the pressure. Ralph Smith at the bottom. And we will find ourselves with a bounce some 20 metres out from the St Kilda goal.
Could you teach us all how to kick a tumble punt? Is that in the textbook?
That cheering is for Kepper coming back on. Well, it's the opposite to a drop punt.
I think it's a drop punt that goes wrong, isn't it, Sandy?
Thank
You don't really
you.
try to
Yes.
kick them.
One that's gone off the rails. Higgins towards centre wing. Frawley couldn't take it cleanly. Bays wants someone going past, but he only found Pekin. They're handling it like a hot potato at the moment. Some holding on going on there, said umpire Brian Shear. The ball's going to go back. It'll be taken by Harvey. Looking for Lowe. Out he comes. One hand again. Oh, and he almost held a remarkable one. Lawson was busy getting the handball, but it could prove very costly. Cracker flicks over his shoulder. It's going to be close. Lockett on the line.
Well, a costly hand pass there by the young bloke. Oh, you're not, what are you signalling? A push out, Robbo?
Well,
you think
him
it
was appealing, and I just thought, how did he get rid of him?
Well, he's such a strong man. He just needs to hold his ground. And Henwood was caught in front. But that was a very costly hand pass by the young bloke, Jamie Lawson, hand passing to the player standing still. And totally unexpected, too, by that player.
So this for number 7. We've still got just over 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Lockett shoots, and Lockett kicks his 7th goal. Extraordinary performance here at the SCG. The Saints level the scores 10-3 to 9-9.
7 of those goals to Tony Lockett, 7 goals won. A very accurate kick for goal as well. Let's have a look at this lead up again. Lawson, the player with the ball, runs into trouble, gives it away to the player standing still, who had no chance whatsoever. As we see this kick into the forward line, there was a bit of a push out there too, Robbo. You could be right, a big push in the back actually.
Oh, it was blatant. Gee, I wish we could have another look at that mark that Tony Lockett took.
Yes,
I wonder Wayne Henwood was going crook, Bernie.
Yes, there could have been a shove out, Robbo. You might be right there.
Scores are level here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, 63 points apiece, 3 minutes before half time. And doing the ruck work now for St Kilda, Damien Kitchke, and he's had some influence around that centre bounce since taking Lazar Vidovic's place about halfway through this second quarter. The Swans, they were 2-5 at quarter time, so they've kicked 7-4, and the Saints have kicked 4 goals too in this quarter. There's Kitchke trying to get it clear to Harvey, chopped off by Doolan. Kick towards half forward. Bays tries to dispossess Cummings. He gets it out, Cummings, to Nathan Burke, and Burke's kick towards half forward. No mark taken. At the back is Thrip. Hand pass goes over the top there to Tui. In turn to Kelly, and Kelly's kick up towards half forward. coming in and getting the ball there was Muller. He goes back to Cummings. Handball over the top goes to Winmar. Winmar's in the centre of the ground. He kicks it long towards centre half forward. Oh, what a mark! A magnificent grab by Dean Rice at centre half forward. And I'm sure all footy fans would applaud that because that's what it's all about. No, it's a free kick.
A free kick.
Well,
must have been a shepherding free kick or interference to Neil Cordy. I didn't see it.
Fancy getting excited about that. An anti-climax if ever you've seen one. Kick by Tui goes wide and the mark is taken by Daniels.
Jason Daniels on centre wing. Low again. Still a long way from home. Kicks towards the 50-metre line. Rice this time caught well behind and the mark taken by Mackenzie. So the former Blue kicks in towards the middle. Oh,
what a mark.
That's a sensational grab.
Did he get the ride there, Sandy? The perfect ride there to take a screamer.
And he gives it quickly on to Lewis. Kemper's back on the ground and he's taken the mark.
Too far out.
Oh, gee, do you think so, Robbo, from there? He'll be kicking from about 45 metres out. I remember he kicked one against Carlton from about 40 metres, 45 metres.
If it gets there, it'll be a centimetre perfect kick.
You've nominated it, Robbo. Let's see what happens. He'll be kicking from just inside 50, about 48 metres. Right on the siren, he has not made the distance. No addition to the score. 3 votes, I. Robertson. It's half-time here at the SCG in a thriller. St Kilda are 10-3, 63. Sydney are also 63, but they've booted 9 goals, 9, and that man in picture has kicked 7 goals, 1 to be precise, Bernie.
7-1, Sandy, yes, and really the Sydney Swans deserve to be further in front. They've had 18 shots at goal to 13, completely dominated that quarter. Greg Williams got on top in the centre.
Just who will win it out of the centre? That's the important thing. Scores are level as we go into the second half here at the SCG, so we're virtually starting again. Tunbridge and Kitchke, won by Kitchke. The big man does well as he takes a kick down towards Dean Rice, fisted away by Tui. Lowe almost had a chance to go through there but couldn't go on with it. Roberts was held and Sydney will take a free kick at half back.
And what a good effort by Ian Roberts, 32 years of age, still playing and doing well for the Swans.
Short to Kelly. Long kick up towards half forward. Frawley from behind shows confidence and takes a fine mark. Gives it off to Nathan Burke. Another one to David Grant and the Saints are out of trouble. Coming up towards the wing, wide towards the wing. McAdam leads in the race but doesn't get a good bounce. Thrip worked hard with him and a clever tap on by Thrip. Looking for Murphy, but it's Winmar who steals it. Oh, and he threads his way through magnificently. Gives it to Danny Craven. Craven's high kick going up towards half forward. Here comes Lockett, but in front of him was his teammate Jimmy Cracker.
Well, they're lined up there, Sandy. The St Kilda players, Cracker, Rice, Lockett was third in line. And not a Sydney player contesting that mark. Poor defensive work by Sydney. And look at that pass to Lockett by himself. And not covering their players, the Sydney defenders. Not quick enough to get back and fill in the gaps. Big Tony Lockett has taken the mark. He's kicked 7 already, coming in for his 8th.
Prior to today, he'd booted 552 goals in his career.
Not a bad average either, Sandy. An average of 4.4 goals per match. Up there with the best of them, Tony Lockett.
This to increase his average. Lockett from 30 metres. Very deliberate approach, almost stammering. Is it coming back? I think he's kicked it. There's number 8. And the Saints hit the front. 11-3 plays 9-9.
And Tony Lockett, 8 goals, 1. So a feature of his game has been his accuracy in front of goal. 8 goals, 1 out of 11 goals, 3. It's almost Tony Lockett against Sydney at the moment. Really, Sydney deserved to be in front after that second term, but the man that's stopping that is Big Tony at full forward.
And the Swans really need to get the ball away from this centre bounce. Tunbridge has done a pretty good job, but Kitchke is up to the cause. Mitchell's kick towards half forward, collected by Love, goes to Mackenzie. Mackenzie's kick across his body, and a good mark at the finish taken by Muller. He runs away with confidence. Handball to Craven. Craven's got a player wide at half-back. Running down, it's Burke. Burke's kicking towards the centre. Oh, a little too high there for Winmar. And Lowe comes through and takes a mark. Winmar getting up a little gingerly. And maybe the stuffing taken out of him there in that contest. What's this, a free kick to Lockett?
Henwood right in his back.
Yeah, push, the umpire indicating a push right in the back of Tony Lockett. And Tony going back to line up his 9th. It looks as if Russell Morris has been moved to the back line for St Kilda. Could be playing centre half back or on the half back flank on Mark Bayes.
And Lockett, only about 40 metres out, directly in front. He's such a good kick for goal, Tony Lockett. You'd nearly write this down beside his name. You will now. And I'm running out of space here because Tony has now kicked, what, Bernie, 9?
Yes, 9 goals 1 out of 12 goals 3. Let's have a look at that kick for goal. Very good kicking style, Tony Lockett. Not much room for error there. He doesn't go for too much, just make sure he kicks through the ball. And from 35, 40 metres out, he rarely misses.
.75 plays 63. Out of the middle, Kitchke almost threw it away. Carroll got a hurried short kick. Grant at the back, couldn't spoil. A chance for Williams storming through. It's at the bottom of the pack. Love is with him. Mitchell waits for it to come out. Harvey is there also for St Kilda. We'll find ourselves with another bounce. We've got to start, gentlemen, looking at the record books. The most goals by an individual, interesting word, individual, against Sydney by St Kilda is Mark Jackson. Booted 10 in 1983. In fact, I think in that game, if my memory is correct, Lockett started on the interchange bench and came on and kicked 1 goal. But he may break that Jackson record today. Ball on centre wing, McAdam. Oh, does it well, but he gets caught and he'll repeat. Great tackle by Thripp. Advantage is paid. Out in front of Lawson. Oh, here goes Henry from 40 metres. Lawson sets sail for goal and he's kicked it.
Sandy, that's terrific play by that. Well, you'd have to call him very slightly built.
Diminutive, Robbo, would you say?
What about the way he gathered the ball, Bernie? He was going to get into trouble, wasn't he?
Well, he looked as if he could have been cleaned up there. That's it. That excellent tackle there. First of all, from Thripp. Yes, Dennis Carroll never wastes a kick. And Russell Morris just misses him there. But look at the pace of this man. Great pace on the explosive pace there, and a shot for goal on the left foot. Terrific to see.
And I think he's a good little player because the Swans have done very well. Stevie Wright struggled early in the first quarter. Colin Kinnear made the change and brought this player off the bench, and he's done very well. They're trying to get the ball clear of that centre bounce, and eventually the umpire picks a free kick out of it. It's going to Kelly. He decides to handball wider to Carroll. Carroll goes in the Kappa direction. Punched away by Muller's good play. Punched away by Cummings wide towards Morris. In there is Lawson having another bit of a dip at it. Daniels has got it. Lawson's the tackler. He's a busy player. So is this fellow, Doolan. Just finding his feet in this competition now. Carroll's kicked towards full forward. It goes over the back. The race is on now. Close to the boundary line. Maybe Danny Frawley will let it go. No, he keeps it in. Handballs it over the top. Winmar runs away from Love. Winmar's kick towards centre wing. A good little shepherd. No, it's not being paid.
You'll lose
Gilbert McAdam, you are being free kicked once again for shepherding against Terry Thripp. Thripp will take the ball on centre wing, looking for players to move. Kappa coming straight towards him. He kicks it over Kappa's head in towards the forward pocket area, and what a good mark taken back there by Frawley. Certainly his skills have improved over the last 3 or 4 years, Danny Frawley. Hand pass now, coming from Kitchke, goes to Winmar. Winmar's kicked towards half forward, punched away there by Tunbridge. Swooping on it, McAdam tries to get the hand pass away, eventually taps it on. Brilliant football, low. Coughlin up towards full forward, kick is too high, and gives Henwood the chance to duck back and mark over the top of Lockett.
The chant of the Moose goes up. Goes to Lawson. Kelly going past. Sweeps it deep in towards the middle and Carroll. Bayes the target. Recovers well, and will swing round onto that left foot, long and low, up towards full forward. Kappa! Got the ride, couldn't complete the mark. Muller at the bottom. So too Frawley. Kappa all over him like a wrestler. And we'll find ourselves with a bounce.
Yeah, again, trying to take the big screamer from the back, Warwick Kappa.
But he should have grabbed that, though.
He should have grabbed that one, but it's not coming off today. He's up against tall players in front. Muller's not a short player. He's 186 centimetres tall. And Kappa just playing with that a lot of confidence.
He's got another shot here. Which way will it bounce? Through for one behind.
Incidentally, Sandy, the goal-kicking record here at the Sydney Cricket Ground is 12 by Brian Taylor against the Sydney Swans. So
that's
it could be broken today.
Clubs.
Yes.
All right. So he's first up. He'll go for Jacko's, and then Brian Taylor's. Ball on half forward at the moment for Sydney. Williams. Oh, look at the hand pass to Murphy. Murphy takes a long shot at goal. Looks pretty good. Hits the post. Deserved better. 10-11. Plays 12-3.
Isn't it a great day today, Murph?
21 scoring shots, Bernie to 15. Yet they trail.
They should be well in front, shouldn't they, Sandy?
Yes, Bernie.
Only 4 points in it. Now Winmar gets the ball away for St Kilda to centre wing. McAdam. And good close work by Terry Thripp. But his tap was to the advantage of Burke. Burke should get a free kick for that, surely. No. Umpire Sheehan has got his eye right on the ball. Up towards half forward. Low, just taps it nicely for Burke. Burke nearly gave the hand pass away and then kicked it over on the full.
I think it might have been
out of
touched.
bounds. Maybe when he kicked it.
Yeah, I think you're right, Robbo. He was over the boundary line. He was looking to hand pass it over the top to Stewie Lowe. And there he goes. Yes, the umpire called it out of bounds before he'd kicked it.
So it's about 2 kicks away from the St Kilda goal. And back there, the players, Jimmy Cracker and Tony Lockett, shading their eyes from the sun. So what you mentioned earlier being difficult certainly is not getting any easier. Craven kicks it beautifully. Oh, what a good kick and a good mark. Craven and Cracker. Sounds like a biscuit company. Craven and Cracker. 45 metres from goal.
We've got the rice cracker out there as well.
Let's see what Cracker can do. Directly in front. Drop punt going into the square. Lock it in from the side. Down towards Rice, but he's beaten by Lawson, who's becoming very rapidly a favourite with his Sydney crowd. Down to Burke. Well tackled. Grant taken out of it. Murphy sees it over the line.
Terrific contest this, Robbo. Both sides prepared to really put their bodies in on the line. And Sydney have certainly lifted since quarter time. Greg Williams in the centre has given them a lot of drive and their little players doing well.
On behind play as Winmar takes a kick. Kitchke and McKenzie having a bit of a dip, but they want to forget about that and have a look up at the scoreboard because Jimmy Cracker has the ball inside 50.
And Jimmy Cracker with that right knee heavily bandaged after half time, so he has some concerns, obviously.
Got Lockett and Lowe down in the square. Rice scouting. He's going for the torp this time. Gets the distance, but not the accuracy. One behind. (12-4). Plays 10-11. Bernard Toohey to bring it back into play.
Sandy, just while there's a little bit of a lull, at this stage, would you say it's poor kicking? I mean, it looks Saints maybe better. Just the accuracy of the Saints.
Well,
I always say
Lockett's been the key because he's been deadly accurate. He's booted 9 goals, 1. Maybe some of the pressure of the St Kilda defence, who knows, is forcing Sydney off target.
Now Sydney are going to get into their forward line here. Leon Higgins, after a combination of hand passes, he may even have a shot for goal. And what a goal by Leon Higgins! Oh, that was just absolutely magical stuff by the Swans. They will congratulate Leon Higgins, but boy, there are about 5 players involved here.
It's great play out of the back line. It's good to see the running players prepared to put the run on too, and good hand pass out from Dennis Carroll. And that's Leon Higgins playing on the half-back line, running away from Frankie Coughlin, his man, and creating another option.
Sydney lead by 1 point, 11-11 to 12-4. Back in the centre, Kitchke goes for a big punch. But Dennis Carroll, leading from the front, gets the kick out only to be marked by Grant for St Kilda. He plays on quickly, kicks it to this member's side. Punched away. Opportunity for Harvey. Little bit of confusion between Harvey and Craven. Craven's caught with the football and will be penalised.
Yeah, tremendous tackle, Bernard Toohey. Bad luck there for Craven. He did everything right, just lost his footing. And he had plenty of opportunities to get rid of the ball.
Sydney have certainly lifted. Toohey's got Thrip on his own. Right on the wing. Short again, Love on the lead. Couldn't take it. Kelly waiting down in front. Paul Kelly wants support. Love under pressure. Past McKenzie it goes. Murphy, steamroll. And it'll be Burke who takes the hand pass from Cummings to get St Kilda out of strife up to Lowe. Just over centre wing.
Not a strong grab by Stewie Lowe. Neil Cordy doing a bit of pushing and shoving there, but he couldn't put Stewie Lowe off.
Towards the 50-metre line. And again, desperation shown by Bernard Toohey.
I think that was a case against Sandy of the sun being in Dean Rice's eyes, because he just wasn't sure about going for that ball.
Is the throw in on St Kilda's 50-metre line just about. Craven couldn't take it. Pekin to Cracker. Caught Jimmy.
Ian Roberts gets up, looks for the free kick, which I would have thought was going his way, and it goes against him.
So Cracker will go down towards Lockett. No, he won't. He'll give it to Pekin, who will go towards Lockett. In fact, Pekin heads for home, goes for goal. Lockett in front. Couldn't take the mark. And it's hammered defensively over the line for one behind. Scores level again. Stevie Wright, pensive. Toohey. Oh, danger here for Cordy. Frankie Coughlin with him, and eventually takes it over the line. Nip and tuck all day. St Kilda getting away early with Lockett beating 5 in the first quarter. Sydney coming back in the second quarter, and it's really tightened up now. In towards Lockett again, but this time Henwood in front, but Henwood slips. Lockett caught on the boundary line. Gives it away to Harvey, who shoots it towards goal and goes right across the face, in fact out of bounds on the foot. Care to pick a winner at this stage, Bernie?
Oh, gee, it's very tough to pick a winner. Looking at the flow of play, you would expect Sydney to win it, Robbo, but with Tony Lockett there, I'm not so sure at the moment.
Kick by Murphy, up towards full forward. Love, look at the hand pass. Brilliant. He saw the player, McKenzie at the back, goes into an open goal and pops it through. And terrific play by the Swans there to get their 12th goal. They lead by 6 points.
Well, I think the question you asked me about the winner, Robbo, I think really Sydney's had most of the play. They deserve to win the game. They've had all the good players. They've used the ball well. And St Kilda's play, they've just struggled to stay in the game. They've got the ball up to the forward line occasionally, and Lockett's been up to the task.
Centre bounce once again. Sydney this time regain the lead. Kitchke to Cracker. Floating kick towards Rice. Almost ran into McAdam. And this allows Toohey to come through and sock off the ground, but it could be Winmar first to it. Oh, he controls it beautifully. Sneaks away from Murphy. Goes to McAdam. And he takes a good mark 30 metres out. Goal for goal here at the SCG.
To coin a phrase.
To coin a phrase.
There's the two very good players for St Kilda featuring there. Nicky Winmar dashing off the wing. And Gilbert McAdam, only 6 kicks. Not a great day for McAdam, but Thrip's done a good job on him.
This to level the scores. Oh, no. One behind. So the margin 5 points. 12-11. Plays 12-6. Toohey again. As they break from the centre, it'll be Higgins first to it. Hand pass across to Cordy. Lowe gives chase. But he gets his kick just in time, up towards McKenzie. Couldn't take it. Waiting down in front is Kelly. Off to Mitchell. Swan starting to put it together. Murphy Caught by Winmar, but not before he gets the ball away to Bays. From a standing start, he misses. The behind.
He's kicked some beautiful goals today, Mark Bays. 3 of them, but no luck there.
A tremendous play by Murphy to get that hand pass out. He was well tackled, but still was able to get that pass out to Mark Bays.
St Kilda create the loose man on the far side. Jason Daniels plays on quickly, kicks it towards centre wing. No mark taken. Good punch away. Comes back towards Mitchell. Mitchell with plenty of time. Looks further afield. There's a mark for the Swans, taken by Love.
Well, that's what they haven't had all afternoon. A leading full forward. Jason Love showed what a full forward should do there, leading out in front of Danny Frawley. He's too strong to play body on body, which Warwick Kappa was trying to do, or trying to mark from behind.
His 2 goals, Bernie, have been quite sensational, haven't they? One down the right-hand end here, where he threw it on the side of his boot and kicked a check side. And he's shooting now for his 3rd, and he's popped it through. A nice kick there by Jason Love for his 3rd goal, and the Swans all of a sudden lead by 12 points.
Yeah, very accurate kick for goal is Jason Love. 3 goals today. He's kicked 5 last week. And a very dangerous forward. Actually, Warwick Kappa, with Warwick Kappa being well held, they need someone on the forward line who is capable of kicking goals. Jason Love, recruited from North Melbourne, and has done particularly well.
Via Port Melbourne?
Via Port Melbourne.
Sydney lead by 12 points with 9.5 minutes left in the term. Dennis Carroll, who's done a pretty good job around that centre square area at getting the ball up into their forward half. Morris is just playing with the football. Here's a man who's no-nonsense stuff. Lawson, a kick across the centre half forward position. Frawley gets back, gets the hand pass away to Nathan Burke. He in turn goes wide. It sits beautifully for Winmar. A lovely sweeping hand pass finds Coughlin. He'll kick it to the front of the goals. Who's he looking for? Big Tony. And he doesn't let him down. He takes the mark about 30 metres out directly in front.
As Tony will be lining up for his 10th. Very good kick, a centering kick in front of the pack, in front of the goal face, in fact. And it was an ideal kick for Big Tony to come from behind, leading as he was in front of Wayne Henwood. And with his strength and size was able to take that grab.
Well, Tony Lockett, I feel, has the Swans mesmerised up at the full forward position. And thank goodness, because without his contribution, this could be his 10th goal, which will be the Saints' 13th. Directly in front, no problems for Tony Lockett. 10 goals.
Well, 10 out of 13, that's a fantastic performance by Big Tony. And the accuracy also a feature of his game. 10 goals won. He's only had the 1 miss. That was right on the quarter-time siren when he was about to take his kick. They blew the siren as the ball was dropping to his boot. He wasn't too happy about that. And there's the mark as we see it again. Danny Craven just about handing it to him in the end.
Kitschke back in the centre. Sydney lead, but their margin has been cut to 6 points. Oh, Williams tries to farm it out of the centre once again. Carroll uses strength, could just about be pinged. A call of ball goes unheeded. Harvey is held and will have a bounce.
Oh, that was good. That was really good by about 4 or 5 players there, and good tackling too.
Great contest, this one, at the moment. Great contest. So Lockett equals Mark Jackson's record for the Saints against Sydney up here at the SCG. Cordy with dash. Through the middle he goes. Pumps it down towards full forward. Not a mark. Recovery by Love. Oh, this will be a piece of cake for him. Well, it should be, because he's kicked some miraculous ones and he misses.
Well, it was probably his easiest shot, Sandy. He was looking, I think, to get that out to a teammate.
So Morris to bring it back into play. And a fine mark taken by Muller. Goes on straight away to Nicky Winmar. Kicks towards the 50-metre line. Who'll be first to recover? Danny Craven whips in and goes very briskly into the pocket, finding Dean Rice.
Well, that was a clever kick there from Danny Craven. He knew he couldn't drag it around because the Sydney player was right on his hammer. And he just got it onto the boot very quickly. Saw Dean Rice leading from the pocket and put it out in front of him.
Rice has kicked 2. and this to cut the margin to 1 point. Kicking from 40 metres, 45-degree angle. Well, it'll cut the margin by 1 point, but certainly not to 1 point. He has kicked 2 goals, 2.
And 1 out of bounds on the full, so a couple of his shots haven't been all that difficult. Disappointing kick for goal there from Rice.
Don't forget, after this game, we go straight to Subiaco Oval for the clash between league leaders West Coast Eagles and Fitzroy. So the feast of football continuing on 7 as Leon Higgins keeps the ball in play, goes down towards the left half forward flank. Grant is leg, but unsighted by the umpire. Muller takes his own ball, gives it across to Nathan Burke. Thought about the hand pass, then elected to take the kick. Up towards centre wing, Harvey with speed gives it to Craven. Put him under pressure, however, but Craven's equal to the task. Over the top to Winmar. Williams intercepts, but he's claimed Mitchell, and that has gone over the line, and over the line on the full, because it came off the boot of Tim Pekin, so it'll be Mitchell to take.
Mitchell at half back. Now he's asked to play on. He handballs to Tui. Tui's kick back in towards the centre. No mark taken. Bays and Morris still underneath there. Cummings has the football, and the umpire calls for a bounce. Just a little slippery near the centre circle after some what we've been told has been consistent rain here in the last 3 days in Sydney. Kitchke gets the tap down, comes to Nathan Burke, quick kick. Oh, went straight through Robert Harvey. Would have clean bowled him in district cricket any day. Here's a chance for Cummings. Left foot kick in the Lockett direction. Punched by Hedward, good. Roberts combines. Carroll. Now it goes wide to Cordy. Cordy's short pass, and the mark is taken out there by Doolan. Well built, that man. Handball to Roberts, who's done some good running from the back pocket. His high kick floats over on the full, and really some good work by the Swans. Ends with a fairly poor kick in the finish by Ian Roberts.
So it'll be Russell Morris kicking up over centre wing, and a free kick going the way of Sydney. Cracker was off, but it'll come back to Tunbridge. Sydney leading by 6 points. Tunbridge's centering kick towards half forward, looking for Mackenzie. Waiting down in front was Mitchell. Did it nicely to right. Gets a hurried kick up towards Love. Wasn't a good bounce for him, but he recovers, but now he needs help. Muller. Oh, good tackle. Frawley loses it. Great pressure by Sydney. Grant.
Well, that was a tremendous tackle by Grant, but I don't think the player had the ball there, had any chance, and that's Barry Mitchell. I think that was a very tough decision. There he goes. The tackle applied immediately. He picked up the ball, and I think that's a very tough decision.
Sensational tackle, just upending him. Nathan Burke runs it out of defence with a couple of bounces. No one coming towards him, so he kicks up towards centre wing and Nicky Winmar. Time ticking away, just 3.5 minutes left in this third quarter. No mark to Harvey, wanted to claim it. Carroll goes to Tui, on to Murphy. Sneaks away from Craven, back to Tui again. Gee, Sydney have really lifted in the last 2 quarters. Mitchell's on the flank. And he runs away from Kitchke. Heads for home with a long kick up towards Love, but taken away by Cummings. Oh, his hand pass is smothered. It opens the door for Williams. What will he do? He might have a shot himself, and he's kicked a beauty! What a goal! Oh, what a team lifter!
Very important goal to Sandy, because that's given the Swans a 2-goal lead towards the end of the third term. They really deserve that lead too, because everything they've done since quarter time has been team lifting stuff. They've played very well as a team. Greg Williams has been well on top in the centre, even though Tim Pekin's tried to tag him out of it, and he's been inspirational.
Well, he's been a little quiet, Greg Williams, in this third quarter. That was only his second possession, but what a goal. Just what champions can do. Swans get clear again. Williams, can he kick his second? No, it doesn't matter anyway, because the mark is taken by Love. Only metres out from the goal and directly in front.
Well, who's the danger man? There's no doubt about that. Greg Williams in the centre for the Swans. And they've done particularly well since quarter time in getting the ball away from the centre square bounces. Jason Love playing now at full forward with Warwick Capper off the ground. He's kicked 3 goals. He missed an easy one before. 3 goals, 4 in fact he's kicked. This is for his 4th goal. Second one for the term.
And the tumble punt coming from Greg Williams. Love kicks from directly in front. What's he done? He's missed. Oh.
Doesn't like the set shots.
No, you wouldn't believe that. 3 goals, 4 now.
Well, that's 2 easy misses in this quarter too. That one on the run earlier. It looked like a simple shot at goal, and that one certainly should have been a goal.
And in a game where, you know, there's only a couple of kicks in it, that was a bad miss. Got another chance here. Murphy, left foot kick by that player is high, floating into the pocket, and getting back to take the mark is Jimmy Cracker for St Kilda. He transfers play directly across goal. Ooh. Let's hope it sits for Muller. It does. Handball. Oh, in trouble. Rice. Flip out. Williams is onto it. Flips it out. No, what happened there?
Very lucky.
Free kick being given to St Kilda. Frawley goes to Cummings, and Cummings pass finds Pekin at half-back.
Tim Pekin heads towards centre wing. McAdam. Built like a piece of string, but very, very talented. Looking for Lowe. Gives a little lean. Uses the body beautifully and takes the mark. Now it'll be a one-out duel in the square. They all head back there now. Lockett is edged out of it. Thrip is pulled off it by McAdam and has lost the free kick.
Free kick going to Thrip, is it? Or Dennis Carroll? No, Thrip, I think.
Should be Thrip, I think.
Yep.
Gives it straight away to Carroll. Goes to centre wing. Doolan feigning for a push and gets it.
That'll be 50 if you're not careful.
So Doolan on centre wing. Gives it away quickly to Bayes, who pumps it up towards the forward line again. At the back is Pekin. Mitchell and Williams. Oh, Dees will kick another one here. No, he won't. That ball was in play for, it seemed like it.
There was an aeroplane going over the Sydney cricket ground there.
Well, it would have been an answer.
Gee, that was a great opportunity.
I thought he had his second in the bag.
Well, it was a great opportunity, Sandy. Mitchell feeding it off to him. He's had Barry Mitchell's averaged over 30 possessions a match. He's been very busy too since quarter time.
Morris round his body to Coghlan. Frankie Coghlan. Long hand pass. Oh, trouble here again. But shepherding by Daniel sees Low clear. Shoots in towards full forward. But in front is Henwood. Right on the siren, taking a timely mark. So it is 3/4 time here at the SCG. Sydney lead 14-15, 99. St Kilda 13-7, 85. Brian Sheehan holds the ball aloft to start the final quarter here at the SCG. 14 points the difference. It's the biggest lead Sydney's had in the game. Can they win it out of the centre? Williams can't take it. Muller can, but he doesn't get a kick. It comes to Burke. Down towards Morris. Well spoilt by Thrip. Sneaking clear is Winmar. Sets sail for Lockett territory. A little too far underneath the football, and it drifts over the line.
Just an interesting statistic that I perceived there, Sandy. 28 free kicks to the Swans and 15 to St Kilda.
Throw in. Low. Sock it off the ground, but straight to Cracker. So Jimmy Cracker will have a shot just 20 metres out. And there is the angle that he has.
What's the bet on a draw?
Now this is a must, Robbo. We must kick this goal if they're to get back into it, St Kilda.
Bet on 2 flies going up a wall, wouldn't he?
Have a try, yep.
Cracker to make the margin 8 points. And he hits the post. He hits the post.
Well, disappointing there for Jimmy, because that was a great opportunity for the Saints to get right back into it.
Tui brings it back into play. Finds Ian Roberts, who will bounce his way around the half-back flank, down towards the outer wing, and then float it towards Bayes. Was held but got a hand pass away, but really to no one. Robert Harvey. Back pedals to Winmar. Oh, what a great mark taken by Stuart Lowe. He spread eagled the pack and just came over the top. Going short, Morris on his own, 50 metres.
The guy who's left behind's in trouble too, Bernie.
Yeah, that was Terry Thripp who was underneath big Stewie Lowe when he took that grab. Russell Morris back on the forward line. Played in the back line in that third quarter. Hasn't had a great day, Russell Morris.
Been a little quieter today. 6 kicks to date. Kicking from 55. This will go into the square. In fact, it drifts across the face and through for one behind. So they've cut the margin by 2 points. Jason Daniels on the St Kilda bench. Tui again.
Tui comes to the near side. The mark is taken by Thripp, who has recovered from the Stuart Lowe crunch just a few moments ago. That mark is taken by Doolan. He looks to play on. Handballs it off to Neil Cordy. Neil Cordy's kick in towards half forward. No mark taken. Lawson, look at the pace of this guy. And he kicks it to the front of the goals, which is a good spot. And the marking contest, Ralph Smith over the top of Stevie Wright. Goes back in towards the goal square where he hand passes to Winmar. And Saints have got numbers on that outer side. McAdam, he's got Kitchke. Craven running with the big fellow. Would nearly get the hand pass if Kitchke can hang on to it. No, he decides now to kick it in towards centre half forward. And a mark there. Cracker judged it a little better than the two big fellows. And Jimmy Cracker goes for the short pass. And it's all right. He finds Lockett. So Jimmy not too confident. Tony Lockett not all that closer. But certainly Tony kicking very accurately, has 10 at the moment.
Well, probably 10 metres closer though, Robbo, and Jimmy Cracker would have been kicking from just inside the 50-metre line, which would have tested him, and Tony Lockett only from about 40 metres out, and a much better kick for goal.
Lockett for number 11. Suddenly things aren't going right in front of goal for St Kilda. 13-10.
They're getting their hands on the football, which is important.
Yes.
The first 5 minutes of this quarter, they've had the majority of the play.
They have. But they've managed only 3 behinds. Harvey almost beaten. Rice trying to thread it through the pack, can't do so. It's almost thrown out to Carroll. Kicks it high. Now where's Lawson? Doesn't get a nice bounce on that occasion. Grant pushing defensively towards the line, and he's still going, but so too is Lawson. But good work by David Grant.
Yeah, tremendous defender for St Kilda, David Grant.
And Bernie, you'll be interested to know that Robbo's written down draw twice on his paper. He reckons it's odds on. Plenty of time left yet, however. Harvey just got his kick in time. All Sydney, however. Mitchell takes a diving mark and plays on quickly to McKenzie. Almost caught him unawares, but the big man steadies. Props and kicks a drop punt up towards full forward. All right, can sock it through. A telling goal for Sydney. St Kilda have taken it down there and booted 3 behind. Sydney have it down there once and bang.
Yes, it just goes to show you have to make the most of your opportunities. And not good play here by the potato farmer, Spud Frawley, because it was a fair way out. He went for the defensive play, but he was 10 metres out, and he really just made it, put it in the path of Stevie Wright, and an easy goal.
Well, it certainly was a critical kick there in the finish by Stevie Wright. Gives the Swans a 3-goal break. Back in the centre. Goes back towards centre forward, but picked off by Neil Cordy. Kick towards, what a great mark taken by Grant, running with the flight of the ball.
Gee, it could have been a free kick against Ralph Smith. He really pushed Stevie Wright out.
Low, is it? Low at centre half forward. In trouble? No, he's just trying to wrench his way clear. And he's got the football about 52 metres from goal. The stammering... You like that one, Sandy?
Sensational.
Wow. If someone can pull the game out, this guy can.
Getting up very early there into the back of Henwood. Tony Lockett.
I can remember Bernie just interrupting Darryl Baldock saying that in a practice match a couple of years ago when he was coach, this man took some marks you've never ever seen taken. Lockett kicks from nearly the square and puts it through. So he's now kicked 11 goals out of the St Kilda goal score of 14.
Yep, magnificent performance. He's done this a couple of times too, playing for St Kilda, where he's just about kicked the entire score. And the other occasion was in the losing side as well against Melbourne. And I think he kicked 12 out of 14 in a losing score. But, gee, Wayne Henwood, he stuck to his task all right, but no one had ever stopped Tony Lockett.
It's been a big task.
11 goals to date. So the margin is back to 11 points. Out of the centre, though, it's Sydney through Mackenzie. A hand pass down towards half forward. Craven tries to come away with it. He just gets a kick, but only as far as Doolan. Still in the middle, he slips in that muddy area. Higgins tries to thread his way clear, and he gets out to half forward. Wright got a hand to it, but that was all. Ralph Smith's hand pass is intercepted. A snap by Love over his shoulder. He could probably kick these. Oh, Murphy! There's another one. Goal for goal here at the SCG at the moment, and now Sydney answer the challenge.
Yes, a quick reply by Sydney, getting the ball out of the middle again. It's critical to get the ball out of the centre here on the very short Sydney cricket ground. A lot of desperation shown by all the players. Jason Love, who's been a very busy forward, and getting the ball quickly onto his boot, tumbling it into the forward line. David Murphy kicked his first goal.
Oh, what a terrific contest. Sydney Swans lead is 17 points. Saints try to get forward through Lowe. Picking it off as Mitchell. Mitchell's kick towards centre half forward. Tap over by Bays was good. Ralph Smith goes back to Frawley, who fumbles. A critical fumble. A flip out. Tries to get it to Muller. It's Stevie Wright. Kelly. Craven has the ball. Now Love. Cummings in there for St Kilda. Grant. And 4 or 5 players striving to get the ball clear, all unsuccessful.
Yeah, Robbo Birdie has shown he's a real little trivia buff. I wonder how many players have kicked more than 11 goals in a losing team.
You've got me there, Sandy, no idea.
Bounce at centre forward. St Kilda get clear. This game is far from over. We've got 17.5 minutes left. Winmar streams clear of half back, kicks it towards half forward. It goes over the top. Swans have got the numbers 3-2. Getting back as Thrip, he may have nearly kicked it out on the full. No, the boundary umpire a long way away from the action. And we'll have a boundary throw in about 60 metres around from the St Kilda goal.
How many, Sandy? Anyway, how many players have kicked over 11 goals in the losing?
You've got the book.
I haven't got time to go through it.
Ducking and weaving going on here at the moment. Nicky Winmar would be proud of you two. And on the 50-metre line, Swans get clear through Tui. Kick back towards the wing, gathered by Mackenzie. And good play by Warren Mackenzie. A sweeping hand pass over the top, and the safety of the boundary line before Damien Kitchke can get to it, and the applause of the Sydney Swans fans, because they could see that there was a few problems there for Warren Mackenzie. Now the cheers come. The Swans and the ground announcer getting the crowd behind the team here. Murphy's kick towards centre half forward, bouncing loose. No, Love. Oh, beautiful. Doolan into an open goal, and he bangs it through for a point.
That would have just about sealed it had he kicked that one, I think, Doolan, because Sydney, with all the run on at the moment, a couple of bad misses by St Kilda at the start of this term when they had the opportunity to get back into the game.
Just under 16.5 minutes remaining. Grant brings it back into play to Cummings. Well, both sides going for 3 wins on the trot, and of course St Kilda next week host Essendon at Moorabbin. What a game that'll be. Good mark to Cracker, coming from Winmar, the kick. Jimmy will head to half forward. Morris. Henwood has left Lockett in the square and takes his kick wide. Doolan will be first to it. Just gets his kick in time. Good pressure by Coughlin, forcing him to kick a little wide. Cummings to Grant, under pressure, so he soccers off the ground, gains 15 metres. Coughlin and Doolan. Good work by Doolan. The ball is over the line and another throw. The Sydney fans sensing they can snatch victory here. Craven beaten for it by Lawson. He's a little terror, Lawson. But it's Pekin who takes it away. His hand pass not a good one to Craven. Lawson in there once again. Gets it out to Mackenzie. A high kick off the side of the boot. Nathan Burke in front. Couldn't take the mark. Pekin only had to get it clear to Ralph Smith and they could start something. On to McAdam. Held and does not have it.
Yes, not a bad play there by Mackenzie though. Professional free kick holding up McAdam. He would have had a clear run into the forward line had not Mackenzie grabbed hold of him.
So a momentary lull in what has been a very exciting game. He kicks to the 50-metre line. And Tunbridge, big man in front, gives it down to Rover Stevie Wright. Away he goes. Up over the centre once more. And a fine attempt to mark by Grant, but he recovered well, got it across to Kitchke. Another one to Cummings. St Kilda out of trouble now. Up towards the wing. Sydney have the numbers, but Frankie Coughlin has the speed. Off to Craven. It won't sit. It still won't sit, and he almost sat on the ground. Thrown back in by Jimmy Cracker. There's desperation here now.
That's fantastic.
Finishes with Jimmy Cracker. Jimmy's on 50, he's caught! But he gets the ball away to Morris. Morris sets sail for goal and he pops it through. Oh, what luck! Sydney fans don't like it. But the margin now is back to just 2 straight kicks.
Oh, that's what they're not happy about is that very doubtful hand pass. The first one from Jimmy Cracker was very much a throw, it looked to me. But it worked out okay. They persisted, St Kilda. The little blokes, Craven, who was just about cleaned up by Thripp, just brushed it aside and kept on with the work.
And what about the second bounce that Jimmy Cracker had when he was tackled? That's usually holding the ball.
Well, it's spilled out, Robbo, so it's play on.
Oh, Kitchke gets a good tap out up towards centre half forward. Lawson, he's caught, but he gets the hand pass away. Higgins can't control it. Kelly's well tackled. St Kilda are fierce now. Coughlin, oh, he's given it away to Lawson. And Lawson from centre half back. A scruffy old kick. And Grant attacked it with the ferocity that usually is on David's Grant face. Up towards centre half forward, no mark taken. Opportunity for Craven, around onto the left foot. What can he do with this? He kicks it into no man's land. There's no one there for St Kilda, and 3 Swans get back quickly. Higgins is first there. Can he kick with the right? Well, it's all right. Up towards centre wing, Doolan, and he allows it to go over. And all of a sudden, there's some very, very urgent stuff about this game. 2 goals the difference, and the Swans lead. Mackenzie doing the ruck work. Ball comes down towards Ralph Smith. In there is Kelly for the Swans, and the umpire will bounce Dale Lewis and Warwick Capper. I think I'd have Dale Lewis on the ground. He's a good runner and a...
Yeah, get the fresh legs on at the moment, Robbo.
Yeah, well,
get some run into the game.
It's a pretty desperate situation. If you're going to win the game, it's into the last half of this last quarter. Opportunity for Williams. Oh, well tackled Doolan. Now McAdam. Oh, was that a trip? No. Ball comes clear to Mackenzie. He spotted Williams. Williams has got the football deep in the pocket. The kick is smothered. Up towards the forward pocket proper. It's still in play. Cummings, what can he do? Over the top, Rice. He's going to get caught, but he gets the hand pass away to Muller. He goes to Cummings. Round onto the right foot. Good spotting by Cummings. Goes to McAdam. And no wasting time. Straight towards goal. Looks for Jimmy Cracker. Can't mark. Terry Thripp, dispossessed. Oh,
that's a throw.
That's a throw. We've seen 2 or 3 paid earlier, but play goes on. Neil Cordy with a whack across his right eye. Gives it to Roberts. Roberts goes forward and Kelly marks for the Swans on centre wing.
Paul Kelly sending Sydney forward. And a fine mark. Gee, there's been some great performances. This is Ralph Smith. Everyone realising the importance of this game. St Kilda currently lying 4th. Sydney are currently lying 9th with a 3-4 record. And it's the Saints into attack again. McAdam at half forward. He's inside 50, Gilbert, and he sets sail for home, and he has missed again. Well, Bernie, you're shaking your head there, and I know why, because they've missed opportunities.
Well, too many, haven't they, Sandy? And Jimmy Cracker missed an easy shot at goal. Gilbert McAdam, Tony Lockett, one that you would have probably have expected him to kick. So 3 chances gone begging.
And the margin is 11 points. Winmar got up high and he recovered magnificently. Pushes it round the corner back for Cracker, but caught behind, and a good mark taken by Ian Roberts. Good defender. 6 kicks, 4 marks, 3 handballs. Tireless worker. Up towards the wing he goes. Here's Lawson. He's a real little jack-in-a-box. Gets it across to Carroll. The skipper kicks it high, just over the centre. Mackenzie couldn't take the mark. Grant waiting down in front, sneaks away. Goes over the top of Coghlan. Oh, he's got Craven at the back. On to Coghlan now. He could goal here, surely. 30 metres out, and he has kicked it. So the Saints come alive again. The margin is 5 points, and yes, Robbo, we could still have a draw.
Yeah, that makes it very interesting, Sandy. 5 points. They only need to get it out of the centre quickly down to big Tony Lockett, and there's every chance that the Saints could sneak away with this one. Still 10 and a half minutes remaining on the clock, so anyone's game. A fantastic contest here at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Frankie Coghlan, who has just kicked St Kilda's 16th goal. They trail by 5 points, and the man there in the centre, Kitchke, done a wonderful job in the ruck. He's a player who's played pretty well, Dennis Carroll, but he's caught by Rice. And umpire Brian Sheehan calls for a bounce.
Gee, it's great to see these close matches, isn't it, Sandy? We've seen so many huge margins this season in the AFL, but this weekend, this matches over this round have been very close.
Tunbridge, Mitchell. A kick that's marked by Winmar, who looks as though he might be playing in the centre and has certainly lifted the Saints in this last quarter. Winmar, low, can't mark. Ball in a winnable position. It's up to Leon Higgins. He kicks it high, back towards the wing, and the mark is taken by Doolan in front of McAdam. He gives the hand pass away. Mitchell running on beautifully. Kelly, what can Kelly do? A long kick inside 50 metres. Marking contest. Williams is there. Gathered by Grant, and he comes away. Pekin does the shepherding. Grant's kick, he looks for Kitchke. Can he get past? Yes, he can. A high kick. Low. Jumping high, can't mark. Morris. Coghlan. Oh, they're under pressure. Cordy. Morris got a little kick. So did Murphy. And good fortune for the Swans. Doolan marks on centre wing.
With his 7th kick, Ben Doolan puts Sydney inside 50 once more. Pekin, an effective spoil on Williams. Wright and Muller together go over the line. And a throw in, but Sydney have it deep in their attacking zone. We've got under 10 minutes remaining. And the margin is just 5 points. Kitchke from behind, down to Muller. The big man gets a left foot kick that gains St Kilda probably 35 metres. And we'll have another throw in.
Good defensive play there by Muller. On the left boot under a bit of pressure, just went for the boundary line, dribbled it over.
Kitchke using some muscle and using it illegally.
Oh gee, I thought that was 50-50, that one. Yeah. Nothing much in that.
So Mackenzie to take it. A high kick deep into Sydney's forward line. But standing strong was Danny Frawley. Gives it across to Robert Harvey. Now Dean Rice tucked in the back pocket.
Oh.
Nathan Burke put under pressure by that poor kick. Lawson, if he can get clear, he'll spark something up. And when he does, he just goes for a little chip. No, that wasn't a good one.
Oh, that's bad luck. He's been an exciting player, a good prospect, this Lawson. A tremendous amount of pace.
Kicked a goal in the 3rd quarter, Jamie Lawson. But at the moment, it's with Rice. Kicking over centre wing or low, crashes into the pack. Morris takes it and kicks a high ball. Ian Roberts and Jimmy Cracker give chase, and it bounces away from them over the line. But it is down towards St Kilda's 50-metre line. Stevie Wright.
Off the ground. He's off the ground and he's been replaced by Lewis. So, Robbo, we was listening to you.
Tunbridge and Lowe. Unable to pick it up is Thrip. Just spoons it out. So too Williams onto Tui. They get it over the centre, however, up towards half forward. No mark taken by Bays. Good work by Burke. Needs help. Grant, a high kick close to the boundary line. Kelly couldn't take it. It's fisted forward towards the wing. And it is on that outer wing where we'll see a throw in. Just over 7 minutes remaining, Robbo.
5 points the difference. The Swans lead. Now Kelly. Harvey the tackler. Kelly gets the kick away. And a mark taken by Lewis, who has just come on the ground. And a lovely left footer is Dale Lewis. He kicks it to the goal front. Frawley punches it, and it's 6 points the difference. 1 goal and scores will be level. Particularly if the Saints kick it.
You want to draw, don't you?
Oh, it's great stuff. I mean, there's nothing like this to lift everyone. The crowd, surely the people watching, and us commentators. It's terrific stuff here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The kick in, no mark taken. Williams is caught. Coghlan, still it's in a winnable position. Doolan, strong play. Can't get through. Yes, he can. Carroll goes to Lewis again. He's caught. Handball goes free. Muller. Saints might turn this around. Kitchke back in towards the centre. He's Big Stewart low. Nearly got it. Morris at the back. Oh, he gets through too easily. Handball over the top. Can Frankie Coghlan level the scores? It's terrific stuff. Tony Lockett 10. You're guilty.
Scores level. Lockett has booted 12. And what a finish.
Yeah, what a finish, Sandy. It's been a magnificent contest here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Tony Lockett getting the easiest of his 12 goals. Good play by Morris to see the running Coghlan over the top there. Set it up with a magnificent long hand pass. Frankie Coghlan, he knew that he had Henwood in trouble. Henwood didn't know whether to come forward or go back. Easy one over the top to Tony.
6 minutes remaining. Tony Lockett has kicked 12 and he's urging his teammates on. Scores are level in what has been a great game of football. Centre bounce once more. Tunbridge sits underneath it, but it's St Kilda who bring it. No, it's not. Pekin's kick is smothered. He gets another shot. The ball is held to him. There'll be a bounce.
Tremendous desperation shown by both sides there. The centre bounce down critical for both sides. They have to get it out of there quickly.
Well, the Saints have already figured in 1 draw this year. Kitchke wins a big fist. Morris will try and tap forward. It's pushed wide. Craven giving chase on Higgins. And Leonie running out of room. Goes onto the left foot towards centre wing. He did run out of room because that left footer went out of bounds on the full.
Good chase by the Saints there out of the forward line. Putting on a lot of pressure there on Leon.
Muller up towards half forward. Lowe wants a run at it and the big hands pull it down. Now he'll go up towards Lockett, who's well behind at this stage. Fisted down in front was Murphy. Play on is called. The advantage given to Sydney. It was a free kick. Towards Doolan. He stood his ground well.
He's been good, Sandy. Doolan, very impressive.
On to Higgins. Running. Oh, Lawson went without it. Had it spent before he got it. Tries to get it back again. Still in there fighting. It's right in the middle. A little muddy. Coghlan is at the bottom.
And I'm sure all those players around that centre are very aware of just one vital clearance and how crucial it can be. 113 points apiece. Another goal each and scores will be level again. Go back towards centre half forward. Mitchell gets the football and kicks it wide to the wing. The race is on out here. McAdam, he's usually pretty talented, but he can't beat that perseverance of Ben Doolan. And the youngster from Albury does it pretty well in the finish. And he knocks it over for a boundary throw in. And the crowd really appreciating all the players' efforts. And they're really having a good go at it. Swans and St Kilda. What used to be recognised as the Battle of the Lake Oval. Now they're playing here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Gilbert McAdam, he's bundled into the ground. And umpire Brian Sheehan, Bernie.
Yeah, good decision by the umpire. McAdam just ridden into the ground from behind. Hasn't had a great day, Gilbert McAdam. And just a little bit of over-enthusiasm there from Kelly.
Oh, McAdam's kicked it too close to the boundary line. Oh, no, he hasn't. Morris has marked it only centimetres in. He's too far out to score, but he'll certainly put it in the Lockett direction. Tony's at the back. He can't mark it. The Swans have got the numbers at the back. Toohey under pressure. Kicks it blindly. Lowe should mark. No. Comes out the back. Morris again. Oh, he's caught. Looking for the hand pass. Swans desperate. They're clear now through Higgins. Higgins kick. Looking for Bays. Can't take the mark. David Grant. Terrific desperation. and he handballs it in the Burke direction, but it goes over for a boundary throw.
What a quarter from David Grant playing across the half-back line on Mark Bayes. His desperation's really come to the fore. He's just gone for everything, thrown his body in fearlessly.
We've gone for more than 3 minutes without a score, and there's 2.5 minutes remaining. Nathan Burke gives it to Cummings. Under pressure, he gets his kick as he's pulled. McAdam wants to go on with it, he does to Pekin, but he's gone over the mark, so he left it go back.
No, good umpiring.
Why is that?
Because Pekin was an advantage, and he must go back and kick it over the mark.
So Pekin just drifts down into the hole.
Still got it.
And still has it. Too far out to score. Wants low or Lockett. Morris!
Yeah, good play by Morris. He put his body in front. The pack was bearing down from behind. It just shows the advantage of playing in front. Stewie Lowe was the man charging in to try to take that mark. A couple of Swans players. A very good mark.
Tell you what, Dennis Carroll was lucky he didn't give 50 metres away, don't you think? Or was that
barely a touch.
Barely a touch. He didn't have to do it, though.
Oh, look, he just brushed him.
Any score, gentlemen, will do at this stage for St Kilda to hit the front. Morris spent time in defence today, now down at half-forward. And a beautiful kick for goal. St Kilda lead by one straight kick. 2 goals to Russell Morris in this final quarter. 1.5 minutes remaining, and who will win it out of the middle this time?
Well, let's have a look at that mark again. Russell Morris backing back, kept his eye on the ball right throughout the contest. Stewie Lowe charging in from behind.
And if you think that was just a brush.
Oh, look. He was just looking for...
What, I've seen 50 metres given for less than that.
Oh, look, Robbo, he's just looking for the 50-metre penalty.
Didn't make any difference, though.
1.5 minutes remaining. 6 points the margin, favouring St Kilda. From the bounce, Tunbridge couldn't take it cleanly. Mitchell can. Goes long up towards half-forward. Grant flies, can't take the mark. The ball is held, will have a bounce. 35 metres out from the Sydney goal, and as Ian Robertson prophesied minutes ago, another goal each and we'll still have a draw.
He'd have been a game umpire to give holding the ball there, wouldn't he?
Just on 1 minute remaining. Kitchke. Kelly can't get clear. Held again. Under 1 minute. Where is that football?
And this will suit St Kilda, taking their time to get it underway again.
And the clock continues to tick. McAdam. Oh, pushed in the back by Williams, but allowed to go on. McAdam does farm it out. A chance for Winmar to pick it up. He gets clear with a long kick. Cracker from behind. Couldn't mark. Recovers well. Daniels chasing on the ground. Leading in the race is Bernard Toohey. And is that intentional?
It doesn't matter because they really needed to keep it into play there, Sandy. It's only 20 minutes remaining, 20 seconds remaining on the clock. And I think Sydney have done their dash.
Yes, it's ticking down now. 12 seconds. Tunbridge. Cracker couldn't take it. Kelly's at the bottom. He's ripped away from the football. McAdam heads for the boundary line. And we'll find ourselves with another throw-in. But there it is. St Kilda have stormed home to win a thriller. St Kilda, 18-11, 119. Sydney, 16-17, 113 in Burnie. What has been a great game of football.
Yeah, well, I think Sydney could feel rather unlucky, and they look, as they walk off the ground, they look very disappointed, as they should. Tony Lockett, the difference between the two sides, 12 goals, 2 to Big Tony, but St Kilda really dug deep in that last quarter. They found something extra. The players who had been down, Russell Morris kicking 2 goals in the final term, Stewie Lowe took a couple of great marks, and David Grant's game across that half-back line was magnificent. He just threw his body in fearlessly at every contest.
I thought Winmar was the key, Bernie. He got the ball out of the centre, and his kicking was quite penetrating in that last quarter. A good performance. So
just repeating those final scores here at the SCG. The Saints victorious, 18-11, 119. Sydney, 16-17, 113.